Number 3 is that hypoallergenic does not protect you from breakouts or, in reality, allergic reactions. Perry, how is that? I mean, how can the beauty industry label something hypoallergenic if it's not?
Well, the truth is the term hypoallergenic was looked at by the government, and it's what we call a puffery claim. So really any company can make a hypoallergenic claim on their product, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be hypoallergenic or prevent breakouts or allergic reactions.
Puffery? A puffery claim?
A puffery claim is just a claim that doesn't really mean anything. It just sounds good, and the beauty industry uses lots of different puffery claims.
Yeah, but that phrase means something to me. I mean, when someone says it's hypoallergenic, it sort of means it's hypoallergenic.
Well, that's the idea is that it means something in the minds of the people who hear it. But legally, hypoallergenic doesn't mean anything.
So, Laura, how do you know which ingredients that you're looking for as warnings that they may actually have allergic problems for you?
Usually it's going to be fragrance is a really big one. SD alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, and lanolin is also another one that can be very irritating.
Okay.
Just remember, just because something says on the bottle that it's hypoallergenic, you can still have a reaction to it.
That's why I say, poison ivy is all natural, but try putting that on your face. Not going to be good.
Secret number 4, eye creams are just glorified moisturizers. I guess every magazine that I read insists that you buy them. Perry, you argue that we're actually wasting our money.
Well, if you look at an eye cream, if you look at the ingredients in it, eye creams are really just moisturizers in half the size bottles and twice the price. And if you go through...
That's right.
Go through and compare a moisturizer to an eye cream, and you can see the ingredient lists are very much the same.
So we actually did this. You challenged us with this task. So I'm going to show you 2 different products. One's an eye cream, one's a moisturizer. Look at these. This is the first 14 ingredients on this list you're looking at. They're identical with one difference, right? The last thing on the list. Everything else is identical. No difference whatsoever, which is stunning. So what do you find works for those fine lines around their eyes?
Something that has vitamin A in it, retinol, or of course retinol palmitate may even have an effect too.
Right. And secret number 5, this one is one that a lot of you fall prey to, is that false eyelashes are used in mascara ads. Or how is it possible that the beauty industry gets away with this?
It is mind-blowing and so frustrating because you see these ads and the lashes look beautiful and it's just a complete cosmetic fantasy that mascara is ever going to give you the look of false lashes or lash extensions.
So as we age, and we all have experiences, our eyelashes grow at a slower pace. That means they actually thin out a little bit in appearance. So what can we do to make our lashes look the best they can possibly look?
Well, to make them look the best, my rule number 1 is always use a primer. A primer is going to make it really look fuller and more voluminous and longer, and it's going to then double it over with your actual mascara.
Can you show us, Carrie from our audience is here. Hi, Carrie.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for volunteering. So let's see, maybe we can do one of her eyes.
We'll do one eye so you can see the difference, really, really quick. So I'm going to take this primer. Usually it comes on the opposite end. Usually it's white as well, if you close your eye a little bit. And I have a technique that I use called rock and roll. So I put the brush in her lashes, and I rock it back and forth and roll it as I'm doing it. I do it on the back of her lashes first, and then I rock and roll on the front of her lashes to really coat that in there. And you can do, really, technically, as many layers as you want. But we just did it really quick. And then I'm going to take that mascara, let it dry for a second, and I'm going to do the rock and roll on the back of her lashes here.
Let's find out if it's worth making the investment. So if you don't mind, look at that camera right there.
And that's just one coat of mascara.
Oh, my goodness.
Back and forth.
That is a big
difference. And look, she has an eye lift.
Yeah.